All right, guys, if you enjoy flying the F-4 Phantom in DCS, then you absolutely have to give this plane a try. It is the MiG-21. They are the yin and the yang. They go hand in hand. They've met countless times in the air in aerial combat in real life. And the MiG-21 is a plane that I've had for a long time, but I've just now learned how to enjoy it. Let's go ahead and get started. All right, so we're going to get this thing started. We're going to click on the battery. I don't know what these other switches are right here. I guess these are inverters or something, but either way, you have to click those on as well, too. It's number 1 and number 2, whatever they are, number 1 and number 2, and then go over here to AC generator, click U on, click DC generator on, battery, ground, power, and then we're going to do all our fuel pumps right here. We'll get these started up. There you go, sweet. Now we'll go over to the other panel here and we're going to hit fire extinguisher and then engine APU. We're going to unlock the throttle and advance it just a little bit, just a hair. It doesn't need to be a lot, but just a little bit. And now we're going to go over here and we're going to push normal start and hold it. And we can go to our RPMs, and once they start climbing, then we'll know we're good to go. There we go, RPM's coming up. All right. That should be good for a bit. We'll have to sit here and wait a second for it. But yeah, let's look at the airplane one more time. Man, gorgeous. I love that scheme on it. Ton of different schemes come with this airplane as well, too, just like the F-4. That's one of the things about the F-4 that really impressed me was the amount of liveries that it had. But the MiG-21 has a really nice selection, too. And I like this because you can fly as an aggressor in the MiG-21, which is pretty cool. I know Draken or Draken, I'm not sure how you pronounce it. Either way, they had a bunch of MiG-21s at one time. I don't know the flying status for them. All right, it looks like our engine is up and running. Let's take her back to idle, and let's go ahead and get all these switches on this panel on. Every single one of them minus 1. And I'll show you just a second. It's going to be the gun camera. You don't want it on because it puts it really kind of obscures your view just a little bit. Let's keep going. There we go. Let's get the gyros going, right and left, and let's get the radar on standby by left clicking it. Everything else is right click, but this one you have to left click. All right, there we go. That's good. Let's go ahead and do the low altitude filter as well too. Zoom back out. Let's align our compass. That should be good. Let's unlock the landing gear. And I think we should be set. Go ahead and put flaps to takeoff. There you see T off, the middle one there, up and land. We should be good. I think we're good, guys. All right. We're going to taxi with the canopy open, right? At least it adds to the coolness factor a little bit, so that's what we're going to do. All right, let's give her a little throttle. Now, if you can taxi this plane, then you've won half the battle already. I mean, honestly, it's like one of the hardest planes I've ever taxied, but if you can get it taxiing, you'll be okay. All right, and then once you get past the takeoff, you're home free. Like, those are the two areas in the plane that to me are the hardest. She's another old school aircraft. She's got all kind of analog gauges in it. I'm running the English cockpit because I don't know Russian, and I'm not that familiar with the aircraft. But either way, she's very similar to the F-4, analog gauges. She's kind of a beast to fly. Like, there's certain aspects where she can be a bit of a beast, and other aspects where it's an absolute joy to fly. And honestly, I find this airplane easier to land than the F-4, but I think it's a little harder to take off. All right, let's get canopy closed and let's seal it. All right, we got her lined up. Good enough. Let's go. Now I'm going to wait till about 250 knots and then we rotate. There we go, 250. Go ahead and start pulling back.
Security check on 3, initial 1-2.
There we go, we're off. All right. Gear up. Hold off on the flaps. Flaps up. Nice, we're good to go. We are set. We're airborne. All right. Trim her up a little bit. It's, I think, is it Shift T or Control T? I can't remember. Shift T. All right, Shift T gives you the ability to trim the airplane. Otherwise, you don't. You can't trim it until you hit that. All right, we're climbing out nicely. Let's go ahead and do that with the gear and lock it. All right, so we're going to fly up to the easy range and take down a few targets, nothing too crazy. We can go ahead and get our reticle on by left-clicking that button right there, that switch, and we're going to leave the radar in standby. It is, of course, is alcohol cooled, and you can only run it for so long before you run out of alcohol, and then you lose your radar. So I can't remember what the time. You get so much time with it on standby, and then even less time with it actually on, but just going to keep it off for now. All right, let's see what we got up here target-wise. Yeah, there's a few, and it doesn't look like there's a lot of people up there. There we are, heading north. Sweet. We could try turning it on, right? Left click. There we go. It is on. Basically, you manipulate your cursor up and down. That's the only direction you have on this radar, and so you have to kind of fly the target into the cursor and then lock it up. It's definitely very different than any other radar that I've ever used. And we'll go ahead and put it back to standby for now. Wait till we get a little closer. The only downside to this plane that I've seen, it really kind of just annoys me, is the glare on the radar screen. Like, it is so bad. You can see that. If you're trying to lock up or target or you know, watching someone, it's really hard to see, and I don't know of a way to fix that. I don't know how you could change that, but either way, it's definitely annoying. It's annoying to have to deal with. All right, let's go radar back on. There we go. There's our targets. You can see them on the radar, and because they look like an upside down T means that they are currently above me. All right. We've got one locked up. Let's go. There we go. And we should be good. The radar guided missiles, of course, are kind of meh. You know, it's like the Sparrow. I like the Sparrow. Let's see, let's go. Yeah, I don't see him, but we're going to go ahead and fox. There we go. Let's see what happens. It's tracking. Boom, got him. I didn't even see that. Where'd it go? Okay, there it is, up above us. Nice. All right, well, that was a good splash in. Definitely a good kill. Okay, I don't see any more on radar at the moment. Let's try to do a little GCI control here. Nice. All right, you see the glare, like you can't see Jack on there. All right, he's up above us a little bit. Go ahead and fox. I guess the Russian equivalent would be a Fox 1. I don't know what they call this. The smoke, like the motor burns out really quick. And honestly, I have no clue where that went. There we go. Nice. Good kill. Good splash. I'm actually, I'm kind of impressed with these radar guided missiles, the Russian ones. They're not bad. Okay, those were the two that we needed. Now we need to go back to stations 1 and 2, and we can use our IR guided missiles, or basically our Russian sidewinders. All right, we need to turn back in. There we go. All right, tally contact. I think that's going to be a bandit. Right. You're on the horizon. We need to close in just a little further. The thing about maneuvering this aircraft too is you don't want to yank on her like a Hornet. You're going to dump all your speed, and then you're going to be in a world of hurt. So it's very, very easy. And I just lost him. I completely lost him. There's no one turning out right over us. Don't worry about him. Where did the other one go? I guess that was someone else. I don't know. I don't know what I just saw. All right, let's maneuver for another kill here. You see the speed, how the speed just falls off like crazy. Of course, you can go into burner. It helps. There we go. There's someone right there. Now you see she got really slow really fast because I chopped the throttle. Trying to squeeze in behind that guy. And he's right up here. All right, Fox 2. Boom, good splash. Easy peasy. She doesn't pick up speed like the Phantom. The Phantom, you know, you can unload the aircraft and, you know, dump the nose, go into burner, and she takes off like a scalded dog. This plane, to me, she takes a little bit of time to ramp up. It's not as instantaneous. There we go. All right, tally.
Go Sugar 31. I'll keep it short and sweet because obviously it's an open com. But yeah, during the hobbits, it's good. I'll put a message in general in there, or I'll come find you if you put something in, and yeah, we'll trade details.
He looks like he's going into vertical. That's kind of got me a little bit.
It's been a pleasure. Well, pleasure. See you. See you.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. That's going to be a bandit. Let's try it. Boom, nice. See the shockwave come off of him. That was pretty cool. All right, what else is out here? I think we got 2 more missiles. Go back this way. There he is. There is that guy right there. We're gonna wind up circling around in front of him. I don't know if we're gonna be able to pull around in time. Maybe. Oh, yeah, all right, you see the lights flashing. That means we're getting close to our limit there. Where did he go? There he is. All right, Fox 2. Boom, easy. Of course, in combat, it's a whole different story, right? Like, it's like everything that you learn, it could potentially go out the window when you're in combat and you're fighting for your virtual life in game. But it's at least nice to get a little bit familiar with the characteristics of an aircraft before you do that. All right, what else we got? Let's look at our fuel. Yeah, fuel is okay. I have to think about heading home shortly, but all right, let's keep turning. There should be another one out here. Oh, I see one co-altitude back to the right. Looking for this other guy. To me, that's one of the hardest things in DCS is just spotting other aircraft. It's better than what it has been, but it's still not easy. All right, you know what? I'm going to ditch this radar for now. This thing's been on for a while. We don't have to worry about using it up. it's not that dire of a situation for us, but I at least kind of want to get in the habit of, you know, like thinking to do that, remembering to turn that thing off and on. All right, there we go, Tally Bandit. Let's just watch him for a bit. This should be our last missile. Box 2. Let's try a longer range shot and see what it does. Very nice. Of course, it's like shooting fish in a barrel. All right, absolutely love this plane, guys. You definitely got to give it a try. If you're flying the F-4, if you're like me and it's one that you've dabbled in, and then you started flying the F-4, I don't know what it is, but this plane seems so much easier to me now than before I flew the F-4. And maybe it's just because the F-4 forced me to focus on like an older stick and rudder type of aircraft, you know, analog gauges, all that stuff. So with as much time as I got in the F-4, this thing seems like a breeze, minus the taxiing quirks. You know, like you have to deal with the whole taxiing thing, but you know, other than that, it's actually really, really easy. All right, guys, there's Cabaletti. So we're going to make a run into Cabaletti for the overhead for runway 7. Now, the thing that I've noticed about this airplane is most simplistic form as far as landing it. I like to run in about 700, maybe a little bit more. Pitch out into the brake, and when I roll out in downwind, I like to be around 500. Slowing through 500, we'll say that. Drop the gear, drop takeoff flaps, and basically keep it at 400 or above throughout the remainder of the pattern until short final. At short final, then I'll start pulling the power back, drop landing flaps, and you know, get like fully configured for landing. But I like to keep this airplane fast in the pattern. I think she does a lot better fast in the pattern. LA traffic, I've been 11 inbound overhead runway 7. Bring her up a little bit here. All right, she got a little bit slow. Let's give her some throttle. Yeah, she dumped some speed in that turn there. There we go, got it back. A little bit low in overhead, but it's a MiG, right? Like, I feel like you can get away with that in a MiG. All right, pull the power back. Watch her, man. Look at that speed. Look at the speed just dump. All right, there we go. We're through 500. We're rolling out on. Get our gear down. We didn't get set up for that correctly, so there we go. And flaps. All right, so at this point, we got takeoff flaps. We're keeping her at least 400 or above. I don't want to get below 4 on this plane. All right, let's start turning back in. Keep the throttle up pretty good. All right, there we go. Turning back in, she's getting a little bit fast. She drops speed so quick. Like, it's really easy to do in this airplane. All right, start pulling the speed back since we're kind of getting established on a final here. There we go. Landing flaps. Keep her about 380 or so. There we go. Start pulling the power out. Pull the power out. And there we go. We're down. All right, hit P to do our shoot. And we're down. Welcome back in the MiG-21, guys. I'm going to be flying this thing a lot more. I want to fly on some Cold War servers, but Enigma is full all the time, of course. Everyone flying the F-4, Enigma stays full. And then on top of that, the other downside with Enigma, now it's been forever since I've flown on there, but now the server is in Germany, and I don't understand that. I don't know why. The last time I flew on Enigma, and it was like last year probably, it was a US-based server, but now it's in Germany. So like last night I was looking at it, even though it's full, I was looking at like 200 plus milliseconds of latency, whereas a lot of the servers that I play here in the United States, you know, bad day 50 milliseconds, you know, a lot of them are 20, you know, just a hair over 20. So yeah, I don't know, you know, Enigma's full all the time and then it's overseas, so that doesn't help a lot for me. But hopefully we can do something in this plane one day. I would absolutely love to. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Love all of you. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe, ring that bell, leave me comments, and we'll catch you up in there next time. Peace. No, big cat, no. Stop. Oh no, kitty. Oh, that's a MiG. That's a MiG over us. Okay, it's the weirdest day ever. Oh no, he just fell. He just fell.